Hi everybody. I had a crash in my system, so I've had to format my hard drive. Which means that the world in which I had been playing is no more. Just as it was getting interesting, too. So I've had to start a new world, and it's not Unstable's fault. In the meanwhile, I've also learned that I really need to get better at talking and stop trying to use music to cover up all my little pauses when I'm doing that. I think a source of a lot of my pauses is actually just the occasional stutter, or even more often, the fear of the occasional stutter. So I'll start to stutter in mid-sentence and then stop talking. And then start my sentence over. A lot of the time I'll just edit that out, of course. But I will also occasionally start a sentence without any idea what I was going to say. And so what I'm really working on this episode, other than starting a whole new world, is trying to get better at just plain babbling. It's a fine line, in fact, between babbling and just talking continuously. But you need to keep talking in a video, because otherwise it gets boring just listening to dead air. So we want to pick up some sand first off to make a pulvis. Which will make it easier for me to make more sand. Okay. And I need to work on a mine. This seems like a perfectly good place to start. Another one of the hardest things about continuing to talk while you're recording is that your mind is also occupied with the actual stuff you're doing, at least a little bit. You can also end up stringing words together that just don't go together. So we'll just widen this area, stick in a door, and see if I can find a couple of pieces of iron so that I can make a bed for myself. And there's another little problem which I think I'm always afraid of, is using that one little four-letter word that could really ruin a Let's Play. The four-letter word I'm talking about is, of course, Because, of course, when you say with three M's in it, you're just taking too long to talk and, again, running the risk of boring your watchers. I wonder if it would help me any if I were to actually just record without recording. That is to say, playing while talking incessantly into my microphone, but without actually recording. Because I have a feeling I'm probably producing a lot of footage here that I am never, ever, 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 ever going to use. course, another problem with continuously live recording is that I often have to stop and clear my throat, which really sounds like crap. Not really much I can do about that except try to time it for some time that I can edit out. And of course I do have the added challenge of having an actual job to work, because I'm a long way from being able to do this for a living. In fact, really, I think it's safe to say that it would be unrealistic to expect that to ever happen. So, yeah, recording Let's Plays is fun, and I do feel a certain amount of responsibility for it. But I really need to not ever treat it as if it's anything more than a hobby. Because this is something that you can work your life away trying to do and trying to make good at it and still not make it. And I do have an actual life that I'd like to enjoy. Alright, so I've got my pulvis going, I've got some iron dust grinding, and I have gotten myself a pair of shears, so I'm ready to hunt down some sheep and make a bed. And there's a sheep now. Here, sheepy. There you go. See, didn't hurt a bit. That one could hurt a bit. Didn't hurt me. Okay, so another sheep. Surely there's more than one around here. A couple over this hill, perhaps. Or down this hill. And there he is. Alright, and that's enough for a bed. And that's another creeper. Okay, so now we're ready to head back and make a bed. We've got a pulvis going. And I have been looking over some of the stuff in Neotech. And I'm thinking that's probably the mod I want to stretch into next. After I get some more, well, after I get all these ores processed. And I do also want to get into some hydraulic craft. So the first thing I really need to do right now at this very moment is get some more wood. So I can make axes, so I can get some more wood. And then once I've got that, I can mess around with this Neotech mod. Looks like Neotech is the first one to add steel to Minecraft 1.8.9. I also need to get myself some metal tools so I can pick up some redstone, so I can make things like batteries and other redstone reliant contraptions. And I think at this point I've got enough wood to make me some axes. Okay, so that's plenty of wood to start with. I can make a few chests, a few axes, get some more wood. Oh yeah, make that bed actually. But first, yeah, just a couple chests right now. And a few sticks. Metal pickaxe so I can pick out that redstone when I find it. And I think a cobble axe will be just fine. And let's see how we are on that iron. There it is. Plenty once it smelts up. Okay, we got a couple of iron chests. I have a mostly empty inventory, and I have a bed. Just in time, it looks like. Okay, so for my next trick, yep, I think I'm going to head down and look for some redstone. So I have skipped through a bunch of mining and building and a few creeper explosions and come up with a solar panel for Neotech, which actually was pretty nice and cheap. Pretty good for beginner level. Also come up with a basic RF storage, which I can upgrade later. And also dug out a room for a smeltery. Not sure how many people know about this yet. I'm pretty sure a lot of you do. But yeah, smelteries you can build as small as a 1x1 or as big as 7x7. I decided to start with a small one so I could just throw in cobblestone and melt that into seared stone. And then once I get all this solid, we can upgrade the smeltery. Or upsize it. Whatever. And here we have our expanded smeltery. Ready to do some expanded smelterying. Now with ingots. I keep forgetting. With New Tinker's Construct, it takes 2 ingots to make a mold instead of 1. So, what am I going to smelt some more? I think this smeltery can be even bigger. Well, in fact, I know it can be even bigger. And once it is, it will be more efficient with large batches. And there we are, 7x7. Isn't that pretty? So basically what that means is I can still use my hopper feed, or if I come back from mining with a half a stack of iron ore, I could just throw it on in there. So hey, check this out. I just noticed this. You can see the items that you left in your Tinker's Construct crafting station. That's good for remembering what you still need to get. So, there's our smeltery. Be sure and tune in next episode to see what I do with it. Till then, have a nice day.